A video has been circulated in social media, capturing the aftermath of the explosion in Iran's port city of Bandar Abbas on Saturday. The video shows destroyed buildings and rescue workers going through rubble in the venue of the incident. At least 4 people were killed and 500 others injured as explosion and fire rocked Rajai port, located more than 1,000 kilometers south of the capital, Tehran. Initial reports published in state media indicate that negligence in the storage of flammable materials at the site was the initial cause of the explosion, while Tehran Times attributed the incident to the explosion of several containers. National Iranian Oil Products Refining and Distribution Company issued a statement saying oil facilities in the area were not affected by the explosion.
cohen. Yok mu koyma böyle.
A massive explosion and fire rocked a port Saturday in southern Iran, purportedly linked to a shipment of a chemical ingredient used to make missile propellant, killing 4 people and injuring more than 500 others. According to Associated Press, the blast at the Shahid Rajai port happened as Iran and the United States met Saturday in Oman for the 3rd round of negotiations over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. For hours, authorities in Iran offered no clear explanation for what caused the blast at the port, which is just outside of Bandar Abbas, though they did deny that the explosion had anything to do with the country's oil industry. However, the port took in a shipment of sodium perchlorate rocket fuel in March, the private security firm Ambri said. The fuel is part of a shipment from China by 2 vessels to Iran, first reported in January by the Financial Times. The fuel was going to be used to replenish Iran's missile stocks, which had been depleted by its direct attacks on Israel during the war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Ship tracking data analyzed by the Associated Press put one of the vessels believed to be carrying the chemical in the vicinity in March, as Ambri said. Iran hasn't acknowledged taking the shipment. The Iranian mission to the United Nations didn't immediately respond to a request for comment on Saturday. Social media footage of the explosion on Saturday at Shahid Rajai saw reddish-hued smoke rising from the fire just before the detonation. That suggests a chemical compound being involved in the blast. The Interior Ministry said that it launched an investigation into the blast. Shahid Rajai port in Hormozgan province is about 1,050 kilometers southeast of Iran's capital, Tehran, on the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf through which 20% of all oil traded passes. A massive explosion and fire rocked a port Saturday in southern Iran, injuring at least 406 people, state television reported. According to Associated Press, the blast happened at the Rajai port just outside of Bandar Abbas, a major facility for container shipments for the Islamic Republic that handles some 80 million tons of goods a year. Social media videos showed black billowing smoke after the blast. Others showed glass blown out of buildings kilometers away from the epicenter of the explosion. Authorities have offered no cause for the explosion yet. Industrial accidents happen in Iran, particularly at its aging oil facilities that struggle for access to parts under international sanctions. But Iranian state TV specifically ruled out any energy infrastructure as causing or being damaged in the blast. Mehrdad Hasanzadeh, a provincial disaster management official, told Iranian state TV that first responders were trying to reach the area while others were attempting to evacuate the site. Hasanzadeh said the blast came from containers at Rajai port in the city, without elaborating. State TV also reported there had been a building collapse caused by the explosion, though there were no immediate other details offered. Rajai port is some 1,050 kilometers southeast of Iran's capital, Tehran, on the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf through which 20% of all oil traded passes. The blast happened as Iran and the United States met Saturday in Oman for the third round of negotiations over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program.
کل خدمات خراب شد.
A strong explosion and fire occurred in the Iranian port city of Bandar Abbas on Saturday. Iranian media quoted Mehrdad Hasanzadeh, a provincial disaster management representative, as saying that there were injuries in the attack, without providing further details. He said emergency crews were working to access the site while others were evacuating the area. The explosion reportedly originated from containers at Rajai port. Videos circulating on social media showed thick black smoke rising into the sky. Rajai port primarily manages container shipments and also houses oil tanks and petrochemical facilities.
هرچی بود خیلی چیز شما درد گیری خدا شده شیشه ماشین چی توی ادامه ماشین کمتر نبودی شیشه چرا ترکی شیشه ماشین بشی ترکی خدا بخیر کنه هر که به کناری
همه الان منفجر شد یا ابوالفضل اسکله شهید رجاییه ما همه تو کانتینرمون جنازه سا داره میرو هوا میره یا ابوالفضل ما الان اونجا بودیم اصلا ما الان اونجا بودیم همه الان منفجر شد یا ابوالفضل اسکله شهید رجاییه ما همه تو کانتینرمون جنازه سا داره میرو هوا میره یا ابوالفضل ما الان اونجا بودیم اصلا ما الان اونجا بودیم
وضعیت استانر بعد از خونه بعد از چند نفر زیر آوار اونجا گیر کردن همون تو سپرکار که نمونه پلو میکنن از این بر بریم سیستم اتصالی های برق داره
گره هفت شو خودی